Welcome to our next video in the series to help you with your quantitative methodology chapter. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about support resources. So, number one resource for all dissertation students are the professors on your committee. So, use your committee members. So, these people should be your first and foremost line of support. So, with the writing or the statistics or the ideas in general, these are the people you need to discuss it with, your committee members. But also keep in mind that these are the same people that will pass or fail you if you do not do what they want you to do. So whatever you do, make darn sure that they know what you're going to do ahead of time, okay, research-wise. And I found this online and I had to share it with you. Your dissertation committee is going to look a lot like this. This is your main professor, right? This is your best friend and your worst enemy at the same time. But always keep in mind that these professors, the chair, they're trying to help you put out the absolute best piece of academic work you've ever done in your 25 years of schooling. So yes, they're going to be kind of rough and tough. But again, their hearts are in the right places. This guy, he's a guru. Normally that'll be your statistician. Unless you're good at stats, then you don't have a guru. And this person is the adversary. I kind of like the way they scratched that out. I thought that was kind of funny. But this professor and your main professor, they kind of butt heads, right? And, you know, what this one says, this one will say something opposite wise. But again, this person is also trying to help you put out the best thing you've ever written. So the end result is you will put out a better dissertation. And this person is a straw person. And they don't say anything. They're just really nice. They're kind of like cheerleaders, and they praise everything you do, and blah 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 blah. And this one is the assistant professor, which I think is kind of mean here, right? Because they're picking on their age, and I don't think age has anything to do with how good a committee member you're going to be. Now, one thing I put in there with this part down here, you know, this kind of made me smile and frown at the same time because it says none of them will actually read your entire thesis. Now, that's not entirely true, okay? Some teachers will read your thesis from back to front, and they will check everything. They will check your grammar. They will check your periods and crossing your T's and, you know, make sure your hypothesis is in the right order, everything. They're going to check everything. But some people don't. From the multitude of dissertation defenses that I have attended, Alliant normally does not have a straw man or a straw person, right? Sit there cheering you on, and they don't have assistant professors attend. They might. Again, this is totally between your committee members and you. Some committee members won't allow you to have anybody in there, while other committee members will allow you to invite friends and family. Normally, it's based on how well they think you're going to do, right? Usually, by the time they have agreed that you are ready to defend, that means they've read it. They're happy with it. They're gonna ask you a few questions, but overall it looks like you're gonna pass. But that's not always the case. Your next main support resources are going to be through the Center for Student Excellence. We used to go by the name of the Tutoring Center, Academic Support and Tutoring Center. But basically, this is where we store all of our online resources, and it shows you how to get a tutor and a lot of things. I'm going to give you the $2 tour here, so please hold. Here's our webpage, Center for Student Excellence. Again, it used to be just called the Academic Support and Tutoring Center, but you could get there through your student hub. And here's the front page. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, I'm trying to watch the length of these videos, but this shows you how to schedule a tutoring or coaching session with one of the stats tutors. They're Alliant students who most of them were the TAs for the classes that you are currently taking, so they're really trained at stats and or the APA writing format. We also have online writing tutoring through a company that we're paying for. It's called BrainFuse, and it works like a Zoom room, right? You could pull up the video of the tutor. You don't have to. You could use it like a chat room, but they will work with you. I had to add this in here, but just a reminder, our tutors are not editors. They will not edit your dissertation. Let me say that again. Our tutors will not edit your dissertations. If you want a paid professional editor, we do have a list. Just let us know. And we have a dissertation toolbox. that has a ton of stuff in there. Everybody loves what's in the dissertation toolbox. It's got a little bit of everything. So just look it over. So different power hour presentations. We used to go and have something about once a month that went over like statistics or how to make citations from the library. So I'm just going to pick one. Writing dissertation resources. It's got examples on how to write up your literature review, how to write better introductions. So we have a lot of writing material under the dissertation toolbox. But again, just look it over on your own because there's so much there. I don't want this to be a 4-hour video. And then we have an IRB instruction video, plagiarism tutorial. Please check this out because they're very, very hard on plagiarists. But this is the main one. This is my meat and potatoes here. This is the one for statistics. I'm going to show you that one here in a second. But real quick, we have APA software that the library will offer you guys. If you didn't know, Alliant will supply you with the free Microsoft Office. It also gives you free Qualtrics. That's for when you get your survey up online. You get free SPSS. That's when you're ready to calculate it. And Zoom, we suggest that you get a Zoom account through Alliant. It just makes it easier because all your data shows up when you go into a Zoom room. But again, I'm going to give you the $2 tour. This is the main one for statistics. So for statistics, that's our #1 request for tutoring is statistics. So we broke it down into 2 approaches. One is the vocabulary approach. So all concepts and descriptives and everything about statistics that we could think of is put down here in alphabetical order. So let's say you want to look at, I don't know, confidence intervals. You go to C, scroll down to confidence, because there's a lot of C words in statistics. There's one right there, confidence interval, right? It has the old-fashioned algebra, and there's videos, and it should link you back to what the other side of this is. And this is what we call the curriculum in conceptual order of the way most of the classes are taught in order. This one, you would go here, and it's broken down into the basics. This is what you should know before you start an advanced statistics class. And here is normally a first semester. It deals with t-tests and ANOVAs, and they deal with differences in group means. This is normally a second semester. Relationships, those are your correlations and regressions. And then there's a lot of little stuff, right? And the non-parametric analyses, decision tree, right? There's a lot of tests in there with videos, a lot of SPSS tutorials, blah, 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 blah. How to find a minimum sample size, APA statistics formatting, that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's that. Another great resource for you quantitative methodologists is relatively new. Perhaps you've heard about it. It's called YouTube. Again, YouTube has a lot of great stats videos in there. There's usually something very, very current, and the people making the videos, most of them know what they're talking about. And this is where I did most of my learning, was from YouTube. So don't hesitate to go to YouTube. Don't forget to cite them. And the last support resource that I can basically talk to you about is the Alliant Tutors, but with bad news. So at this point in time, Alliant Tutors are not permitted to work on anybody's dissertation except their own. And I'm going to show you why, okay? This is one student whose name shall be withheld. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. And usually when I work with students, I become friends with students. So again, I'm not here to embarrass anybody, but this is why our tutors do not work with dissertation students. So this is one student. Each page here, each file, represents roughly an hour of me personally working with this student. And so, right, this is just the first one. You getting the picture? So, again, remember, each one of these is roughly an hour. Some of them are 2 hours. And it just kept going on and on and on. So what I had to do is break it down into little folders. And each folder, again, same thing. Each file is roughly an hour or 2. So, I spent over 100 hours working with one student on her dissertation. And To be honest, it wasn't exactly her fault. I mean, there's a lot of things behind it, but eventually it did get worked out and she walked. So, and I'm very, very proud and happy for this person. So, but that's why we can't allow our tutors to work on your dissertation, because it just, we don't pay them that much. They're graduate students, they're too busy. So, with that said, I personally can work with your dissertations, but not like this. Never again like this. I can't do it because it put everybody else behind and had a lot of angry students, and that's not what we're trying to do here. But that's why. So that's about it for this video, but use those resources that are there for you, right? Number one is your board members. Number two is the online Alliant resources. We got a ton of them. I guarantee you, I've worked on over 2,000 dissertations. And last is YouTube is a great resource. It's the new library. That's it. MJZ.